Okay, so the next topic of your syllabus is that zeros and singularities of a function. So what do you mean by zeros of a function and what do you mean by singularity of a function? So zeros is nothing but the root. Okay, in simple language that you already know that if f of x, suppose f of x is a function of x and that is equal to 0, so this is a equation. So if your function is like this, x square minus 2x plus suppose 3 is equal to 0, so then it is what? The roots are what? What are the roots? Huh? What are the roots? X equal to 3 and sorry, x equal to minus 3. No, no. 3 minus 1. What are the root of this equation? Huh?
3 and minus 1.
3 minus 1. I'll put here. 3 minus. See, that will be x square minus, that will be 3 minus 1. You can't take that one because you will get only one negative sign, otherwise, and 3 positive signs here. So say uh, say just I am giving here, suppose 1 is equal to 0. Suppose 1 equal to 0. So the roots of the equation is what? 1 and 1. So this is called, if your function is real function, so this is called what? Root of the function or root of the equation. Okay, root of the equation means, and you can also say solution of the equation of this equation. That means if you put these values of x here, then this equation will satisfy these values of x. Then only this is called solution of the equation or root of this equation. The same concept will apply here also. So obviously you know what is analytic function. So the zeros of an analytic function is what? The zeros of analytic function of fz is the value of the complex variable z such that f of z equal to what? 0. That means if you have a complex function, that is your fz, okay, given, so that equation is given. So just to solve it, and then you suppose you are finding z equal to say z1, say z2, whatever you are getting the value of z1, z, okay, then you, if you put that values of z here, then this equation will be satisfied by what? This one, these values of z. If this value of z will satisfy this equation, then only you can say that this value of z are what? Are the zeros of the what? Zeros of the analytic function what? Fz. Okay. Next is your singularity of a function of an analytic function. So singularity is nothing but the point at which the function, this function fz is not analytic or ceases to be analytic. That means what do you mean by analytic function? Analytic function is nothing but complex function such that whose derivative at each point of the region exists. The derivative of the what? Of the function fz in the given region must exist at each and every point. Then you can say that the given function is analytic in that region. Now, what do you mean by singularity? Singularity means, suppose this is your some region, okay. Suppose your given function, this fz, given function fz is analytic everywhere in the region, everywhere in the region, except at few points. Say this point, at this point, suppose the derivative of the function does not exist. Then this point, ultimately the function is not analytic over the region, because even if you get one single point at which the given function fz is not whose derivative does not exist, then you can say that the given function is not analytic over the region. So the point at which, or the point due to which the derivative of the function, the first derivative of the function does not exist, that point is called what? Your, that point is the singularity of that function, singularity of that function fz. Okay. For an example, if you see this fz is equal to what? 1 upon z minus 1. Fz is equal to what? 1 upon z minus 1. Now, if you find its derivative, so f dash z, so you'll get what? Minus 1 by z minus 1 whole square. Now, if you put z is equal to 1, if you put z is equal to 1, so f dash 1 will be what? F dash 1 will be what? Infinity. Because z 1 minus 1, 0, so 1 upon 0 is what? Infinity. So the derivative of the function does not exist at the point what? Z is equal to 1. And so the function, this function is what? Not analytic at the point what? Z equal to 1. That means this point Z is equal to 1 is the what? Is called singularity of this function fz. And there is no other singularity at each and every point for our for every value of z except z equal to 1, the derivative of the function exists. But at z equal to 1, the derivative of the function does not exist. So z equal to 1 is the called the singularity of the function what? Fz. So what do you mean by singularity? A singularity of a function fz is the point at which the function ceases. Ceases means what? The function is not analytic. That point is called your singularity of the given function. Then and there are different kinds of singularity. One is called isolated singularity and another one is called non-isolated singularity. Okay. So what do you mean by isolated and what do you mean by non-isolated? So if z is equal to a is a singularity of the function fz, and if there is no other singularities within the small circle surrounding the point z is equal to a, then z equal to a is said to be what? Isolated singularity. That means it says that suppose this is the region, then suppose at this point, say this is your z is equal to what? Z is equal to say a. Suppose at this point, the the derivative of the function does not exist. That means this point z equal to a is called what? Singularity of the function. Then when this singularity is called isolated, so it says that if there is no other singularity within what? Within the small circle surrounding the point what? Z equal to a. So if you draw a small circle surrounding the point z equal to a, that means with center at z equal to a. So if there is no other singularity within this small circle other than z equal to a, then this z is equal to a is called your what? Isolated. Otherwise it is called non-isolated. Is that clear? If there is no other singularity of the function fz lies within this small circle, then this z is equal to a, this singularity is called your what? Isolated, or otherwise the singularities are called what? Non-isolated singularity. Okay. Say for an example, the function fz is equal to 1 upon z. Now see, this function fz is equal to 1 upon z. The derivative of this function fz exists at each and every point except the point z is equal to 0. Because at z equal to 0, there is what? There is at z equal to 0, the derivative of the function does not exist. And so the function is what? Not analytic at the point z equal to 0. And so z equal to 0 is called what? Singularity of the function. Now, whether this z equal to 0 is the isolated or non-isolated singularity. So now see, if this is the, I already know that if you find f dash z, so it will be what? It will be minus 1 upon z square. Minus 1 upon z square. So this f dash z exists at for each and every value of z except z equal to 0. That means you are getting only one singularity. You are getting what? Only one singularity here. There is no other singularity. So if you take any region, and if you take z equal to 0 here, where the function is what? Not analytic, that means z equal to 0 is the singularity of the function of z. And even if you draw a small circle, so obviously there will be what? There will be no other singularity lies within this circle. Because there, for this function, it has only one singularity. And so that singularity is called what here? That is called isolated. Similarly, if you see the other next problem, fz is equal to what? Z plus 2 by z minus 1, z minus 2, z minus 3. So this function fz has three singularities. What are those? That are what? Z is equal to 1, 2, and 3. If you find the derivative of this function, and if you put z equal to 1, so the derivative of the function does not exist. Similarly, if you after derivative of this function, if you put z equal to 2, then also that derivative will not exist. And if you put z equal to 3, then also that derivative will not exist. So this function fz has what? Three singularities. And that all singularities are what? You are isolated, because with taking z is equal to 1, within at z equal to 1, if you draw a small circle, so 2 will not come within that region. If this is the region, say z equal to 1 here, if you draw the small circle here, so that 2 point, whatever z equal to 2, that will not come within, because this circle is very small, very small circle. So obviously 2 will not come within this a small circle. And so similarly for z equal to 2, at point z equal to 2, if you draw a small circle, so neither 1 nor 3 will come inside the small circle. So these all singularities are what? Your isolated singularities. These are what? Isolated singularities. Then here, just to see, the function fz is equal to 1 upon 10 pi z is not analytic at the point where 10 pi, obviously. Now this function fz equal to 1 upon 10 pi z. Now you need to find at what point the function is not analytic. So obviously, if this denominator is 0, then obviously the function will not be analytic if you find the derivative. So for finding the point at which the given function is not analytic, put this denominator equal to 0. So 10 pi equal to 0, and 10 pi 0. So at what angle the value of 10 will be 0? At the at what? Pi. What? At pi. 10 pi is 0. So, or you can say, if you know the solution of a trigonometric equation, so 10 pi z equal to 0, that means 10 pi z equal to what? 10 of n pi. Multiple n is what? 1 to 3. So 10 of n pi is 0. So pi z equal to what? N pi. So pi will cancel out. So z equal to what? 1 upon n. So if you, so you got the point. You got the point at which the given function is what? Not analytic. So what are the point? Go on putting the values of f of n. You'll get all the points at which the given function is what? Not analytic. So first, if you put z n equal to 1, so z equal to 1. So at z equal to 1, the function is not analytic. If you put n equal to 2, obviously the function is not analytic. If you put n equal to 3, so z equal to 1 upon 3. So at z equal to 1 upon 3, the function is not analytic. In this way, you'll go on. Okay, now tell me whether these all singularities are isolated or non-isolated. These are all isolated singularities except which singularities? Except because if you go on putting the values of n, here n goes out up to what? Infinity. Is it not? So if n goes up to infinity, so the last term will be what? That will be 0. But before that, whatever you are getting the singularities before, because before infinity, whatever the singularity you are getting, that will be very, very near to what? 0. That will be what? Very, very near to what? 0. And so if you draw a circle with center at 0, then that other singularity will also inside this what? Inside this small circle. And so z equal to 0 is what your? Z equal to 0 is the what? Non-isolated singularity. But remaining all except z equal to 0, remaining all singularities are your what? Isolated, and z equal to 0 is the what? Non-isolated singularity. Next will be, so now there are different kinds of singularities, as already have known, isolated, non-isolated singularities. So now, just a minute. Okay, let's see. Now, different kinds of singularities. Now, you know by Lorentz theorem this one. By Lorentz theorem, this expression already you know that. Okay, this expression you know by Lorentz theorem. So now that this term, n is equal to 1 to infinity, a minus n, z minus a to the power minus n, is called what? Principal part of what? Fz at the isolated singularity what? Z equal to a. Now, there are three different cases we will discuss, three different kinds of singularities. First one is called removal singularity. So first one is what? Removal singularity. So what is removal singularity? When all the coefficients of what? Of a minus n are what? 0. That means if this one here, if all the coefficient of a minus n will be what? 0. So ultimately what? This principal part will become 0, because if all this a minus 1, a minus 2, a minus 3, a minus 4, dot, 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 a minus n, if all this will be 0, so ultimately this will become what? This will become what? 0. This will become 0. And so fz will be what? N equal to 0 to infinity a n z minus a to the power n. So thus we have fz equal to what? N equal to 0 to infinity a n z minus n. And the singularity z equal to a is called what? Removable singularities. So how, when z equal to a is called removable singularities? If the coefficient, this a minus n, are all 0, then fz will get like this one only. Then this z equal to a is called your what? Removable singularity. There are alternative definition for this one. What is that? A singularity z equal to a is called removable singularity of fz if limit z tends to a, fz exists finitely. So in other way, you can how you can check the removable singularity, whether z equal to, if z equal to a is singularity of a function, then if you take limit of this function fz when z is tends to a, and if this limit exists finitely, if this limit exists finitely, then this singularity z equal to a is called what? Your removable singularity. So this is the best way of checking if you have a singularity of a function, then whether that singularity is your removable singularity or not. So just simply you take limit of the function at that singularity point. And if the limit of the function exists finitely, then that singularity is called your what? Removable singularity. For an example, if you see this one, sine z by z. So at z equal to 0, this the derivative of this function does not exist. So z equal to 0 is the what? Z equal to 0 is the singularity of the function what? Sine z by z. Now, if you take now whether z equal to 0 is removable singularity or not, how will you check? Just simply take the limit as z tends to 0. So, as you know that limit z tends to 0 sine z by z, its limiting value will be what? 1. So, this limit exists finitely. You will get what? A finite value. If this limit will exist and if you are getting a finite value, then you can say that the z equal to 0, the singularity is what? Your removable singularity. Okay. Next is your pole. What do you mean by pole? So pole is your nothing but if there are finite number of terms in the principal part. Principal part is your what? A minus n, z minus a to the power what? Minus n. So say this one, a minus 1, the principal part. If there are finite number of terms there, so like this, just go on putting n equal to 1, 2, 3 up to a n. So you'll get what? A minus 1, z minus a whole to the power minus 1, a minus 2, z minus a whole to the, like this, it will be a minus m, z minus a to the power m. Now consist of finite number of terms. Then if this principal part, if you understand, if this principal part contains finite number of terms, okay, if this principal part contains finite number of terms, then that singularity is called what? Your, so consist of finite number, then z equal to a, the point at which you are finding the singularity, checking the what kind of singularity, then that singularity is called your what? Pole of order what? What is the order here? It is m. Okay, so what is the order? How many terms are there? M terms. And highest order is what? M. Highest order is what? M. So it is a pole of order m because this principal part has finite number of terms, and once you got the principal part has finite number of terms, then that singularity point is called your what? Is called your pole. And what will be the order of that pole? Order of the pole will get by taking the what? Highest power in this. In this expression, whichever is the highest power, that you need to consider. So it is the highest power is m, so it is of what? Pole is of order n of the function what? Fz. So like this we can find the pole. And when m equal to 1, that means if the order is 1, then that is called simple pole. Okay. So in other way, how will you find? In different way, in a other way, how will you find the singularity? So a singularity z equal to a is called a pole of a function fz if there exists a positive integer n such that at what point you are finding the pole? At the point z equal to a. So if there exists a positive integer n such that limit z tends to a, z minus a to the power n fz is equal to what? Some value, finite value. That should not be equal to 0. Then the point z equal to a is called the what? Is called the pole of order what? N. Okay. So a2 monot rakhiba. Just you remember this, how to find out the pole of and what will be the order of that pole. So if you have a singularity at z equal to a, and if you are checking whether this singularity is a pole or not, and what will be the order of that pole, then you find this limit. Limit z tends to a, z minus a to the power n fz. So it has been written. There exists a positive integer n. If it is a pole, then there must exist a positive integer n such that this limit z minus a to the power n fz must be equal to some finite value, and that should not be equal to 0. Then that singularity is called pole, and whatever is the order of this z minus a, that will be the order of the pole. Okay, so now let's see one example over the pole. Now if you see this expression fz equal to what? 1 upon z minus 3 whole to the power 3. So obviously we come to know that z equal to 3 is the singularity of the function z minus 3. So at z equal to 3 this function will not exist. So z equal to 3 is the singularity of the function. Now whether z equal to 3 is a pole or not. So let us find out the limit. So limit z tends to 3, what? Z minus a whole to the power n. So there exists a positive integer n. So, so here the value of n will be what? 3 I am taken. So z minus a means 3, z minus a to the power n. So z minus a is 3 and n is also 3. So z minus 3 whole to the power 3 into fz. And what is fz? Fz is what? 1 upon z minus 3 whole to the power 3. So if you put here, so z minus 3 whole to the power 3 will cancel out. You will get what? 1. And that is not equal to 0. This implies that this singularity z equal to 3 is a pole of order is what? What is the order of this z minus 3? Is 3. So the pole, it is a pole of order what? 3. So whenever you need to find out the check whether the given singularity is your pole or not, just simply you try to find out this limit here. Limit z tends to a, z minus a to the power n fz. Now a you will get from here, and what will be the n? N you need to choose in such a way that this product, this limit will be what? Will be a finite value, and that should not be equal to 0. And then that singularity is called what? Your pole. And the order you will get from here. Then the last one is your essential singularity. So what do you mean by essential singularity? Essential singularity is what? If a minus a, that means in the principal part, if this coefficient a minus a is not equal to 0 for indefinitely for many values of n, that is if the principal part contains an infinite number of terms, that means this contains what? Infinite number of terms, then the singularity z equal to a is called what? Then the singularity z equal to a is called the what? Essential singularity. Okay. Then z equal to a is called what? Essential singularity. So if this principal part contains an infinite number of points, then the singularity is called essential singularity. And in other way, how will you check this one? Say a singularity which is not a pole, branch point or removable singularity. That means a singularity which is not a pole, not a removable singularity, then that singularity must be what? An essential singularity. Okay. So how, obviously you know how to find out the pole, how to find the removable singularity. Just to check whether these are your whether this is a pole or whether this is a removable singularity. If not, then that singularity must be your what? Must be your essential singularity. Say for an example, fz equal to 1 upon z minus 2. So if you check this one, so here z equal to 2 is nothing but the singularity of the function. So z equal to 2 is neither a removable singularity nor it is a pole. And so z equal to 2 is the what? Essential singularity. Similarly, here fz equal to 1 e to the power 1 upon z. So this 1 e to the power 1 by z means what? If you break this one, so you'll get like this one. So here z equal to 0 is the singularity. Z equal to 0 is the singularity. But that z equal to 0 is neither a removable singularity nor it is a pole. And so z equal to 0 is what? Essential singularity. Similarly, you can check this one. Fz equal to sine of z 1 upon z minus a. So here z equal to a is a singularity, but this z equal to a, if you see this series, so this z equal to a is neither a removable singularity nor it is a pole. And so z equal to a is the what? Essential singularity. Now, the easiest way, I'm going to tell you the easiest way of checking whether the given singularity is a removable singularity or it is a pole or it is a essential singularity. The easiest way I'm going to tell you. Okay. Whatever till now we have discussed, by that also you can find out, you can check what kind of singularity it is. But I'm going to discuss a very easiest way. What is that? Suppose z equal to a is the singularity of the given function fz. Then that z equal to a is whether it is a removable singularity or it is a pole or it is a essential singularity. That can be of fz according as expansion of fz. What? You have a function fz. You have a function fz. Okay. Then you expand that function fz. So if that after the expansion of this function fz, if that after expansion of this function, if it contains no negative powers of z minus a, if that expansion contains no negative power of z minus, that means there is no negative power of z minus a. That means z minus a will not come in the denominator of the expansion, or contains finite number of negative powers of z minus a, or if it contains finite number of what? Negative powers of z minus a, or contains an infinite number of what? Negative powers of z minus a. That means if there are no negative powers of z minus a, then that z equal to a is called your removable singularity. If there are finite number of negative powers of z minus a, then that is called your pole. And if there are what? Infinite number of negative powers of z minus a, then that singularity is called your what? Essential singularity. Simple. Okay. That is the simple way of to check whether the given singularity is what? It is your removable pole or essential singularity.